If your wife works, I just want to let you know as a man, you have failed. Now, it's one thing to both be working towards a life where you can allow her to not work and you're just on your way there, but it's a whole nother thing to want your wife to work, which a ton of you on this platform do, and I don't understand it. Shame on all of you guys who make your wife go back to work after having a child. You make her go on maternity leave, enjoy all of the positive things of being a stay-at-home mother, and then make her go back to work. Why? Just so you can afford a few more toys? Oh, so you can afford your truck? So you can afford another boat? That's why? That's why you have her work? Come on.
I'm trying to take this seriously. I really am. Oh yes, men are making their wives work so they can buy a few more boats. What's up with this guy, bro?
You're going to have other people raise your children, make memories with your children rather than you or their mother because you want shiny toys? Don't even come at me with the, in this economy, both people have to work.
Oh,
no,
man.
That's not true. Both people have to work if you need to pay for daycare.
Yes, it is true. What are you talking about?
But if you don't need to pay for daycare, one income can do it. And if the father's income, single income, doesn't cover it, you're living outside your means. You're buying things you can't afford. You're doing things other than advancing your career and finding a way to make more money. This, like everything else in life, is a skill issue. If you're a man and you think you need your woman to work or that you need her income, that is a skill issue. I will not allow anyone on social media to gaslight me or anyone else into believing that you need a dual income household. It is not true. It never will be.
Okay, so listen, this here's beyond pandering. This goes far, far beyond that. This is more insidious. It's more evil than just that. This man is some type of an entrepreneur who's obviously here trying to build a following of thousands of gullible individuals. And if you think no one is falling for this, what he said there in the very beginning, which was,
if your wife works, I just want to let you know as a man, you have failed.
If your wife works as a man, you have failed. Let's go check out some of these comments, all right? Check this out. This commenter here says, finally, someone gets it. Bring back old school values and family. Mind you, he just called over 60% of households where men are working very hard, and also the wife is working just as hard. Men still out earn women and they work longer hours on average. But he just called a majority of fathers and men failures. Do you think that those wives would think that their hardworking husbands are failures? And just in case you guys don't believe me, let me go and talk to Miss Coffee here. We got to. Miss Coffee, what are the stats when it comes to families with children, ages under 18? We're talking about couples here. What are the stats when it comes to what percentage of them are actively employed?
In 2023, among married couple families with children under 18 in the United States, 97.6% had at least one employed parent, and in 67% of these families, both parents were employed. BLS.gov. This reflects a slight increase from 2022, when 97.4% of such families had at least one employed parent, and 65% had both parents employed.
Okay, so it looks like that number is only growing. And according to him, if your wife goes to work, doesn't matter if it's full-time, part-time, shit, probably doesn't matter if she's starting a business of any sorts, you are a failure. You are a failure. And we know he's out here scamming women. And he knows they're going to fall for this shit because they do, right? They just do. Check out more of these comments here. Somebody else here says, I liked this video after the first sentence. This is incredible. Somebody else here added, telling the truth in a world full of lies. Guys, this video has 2-point-something million views, right? You too can get online if you're godless and have no morals and sell your soul for lies like all the panders and scammers we see do here on an everyday basis. I'm not encouraging. I'm just saying it's easy. It looks like it. So here's another comment. This chick says, yeah, and then he leaves you and you end up with no work experience, no money, nothing. No thanks, I'd rather work and it keeps me active. All right, so we have a chick here who actually disagrees. She says, listen, I don't want to be in a marriage where I'm not contributing to the household income because what if things don't work out? I mean, after all, modern women file for divorce at a 70 to 80% rate. They leave marriages pretty consistently. And so as a man, you want to make sure that you protect yourself if you're entering a marriage fathershaverights.com can give you resources for that. With offer code REVIEW, you can access the #1 guide to drafting a solid and legally binding prenuptial agreement for free, right? You're welcome. So he responded back to this chick and says, if he leaves you and or leaves you with nothing, you chose poorly. Skill issue. What the hell? This is like the toxic Alex Hermosi. If you don't know, he's like an entrepreneurship guy. Skill issue. If he leaves you, so make sure you pick a guy who allows you to be a stay-at-home wife, and you can leave with enough assets that you be set for life, because he'll be the type of person who's willing to give you practically everything in case that marriage does not work out. And let's see what responses. Somebody else here added, what if he dies or becomes handicapped? Okay, that's a very extreme situation, but I guess, it happens. Somebody else here says, most women don't really willingly choose a bad partner. It's ignorant to say it's a skill issue. It's a skill issue of incompetent men that don't support women. So most women are just innocent and they don't usually choose a bad partner. It's all the man's fault. This guy over here, man, has the perfect crowd of gullible chicks. There he responds and says, insurance and assets exist for a reason. So as I get insurance in case your man dies, you could get all his money. Talk about a cold-blooded entrepreneur. We got a chick here who says, my boyfriend only makes $20 an hour, and I've stayed home with our daughter since she was born. She's almost 4. We don't have extra money, but we make it work. It's possible if you manage money right. Another person who says, stay-at-home mom. Here, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and you are 100% correct. Another person who says, how do I send this to my husband? I'll do it for you. Disrespectful. So this is the chick talking about, how do I send this to my husband? Right? Calling her husband a failure. Let's see here. Nah, we gotta go see if we gotta go warn the husband. Oh yeah. Let's see if we can find her husband out here disrespecting her husband on social media. Doesn't look like he has any type of social media. It's always like that, isn't it? Anyways, bro, if this is your wife right here, she thinks you're a failure and she doesn't think you work hard enough because she's not a stay-at-home mom. There you go. Let's see what else we got. What more disrespect do we have over here? Here's somebody else who says this man should be protected. By all means. Here's somebody else who says, no, this is not true. Some women love working. So please speak for yourself. Here's somebody else who says, stay at home. I mean, that's the other thing too. A lot of women today actually want to work, right? Somebody else who says, stay at home mom. I'm so grateful for my husband. That's good, right? And this economy was not built for 2-income households. It just wasn't. And of course, this guy knows that, and he is capitalizing on that fact. Let's see what else we have.
I just saw a video of a woman who was talking about how miserable she is in her marriage, talking about how she's been with this man for 12 years. She's a stay-at-home wife. That's what she wants to be, a stay-at-home wife / mom. They have a small child.
Right.
And she's really upset because she says she feels she has to literally beg him to help her, that he goes to work, but that's all that he does, and she has to literally take care of everything else. She has to take care of the child, she has to cook dinner, she has to clean up, run errands, do everything to help everyone, and she's feeling overwhelmed.
So this is the other side, right? This is the side that they won't show you, and you have to realize that nothing is a cure-all for somebody who does not know how to be content out here. There are a bunch of chicks who think they want to be stay-at-home wives. And they complain, they think they don't want to work. But if put in that position, they will complain and convince themselves that they work harder than that man. I bet you the last dude, Mr. Panda Bear, he would say she does work the hardest. Being at home is harder than financially providing for an entire family. This does not equal importance. What role is the most important? That's not what we're talking about here. I am, however, saying that you can't convince me that providing for an entire family, especially multiple children, is easier than being a stay-at-home mom. It just, you can't convince me that.
She hates him. She hates him more than she's hated anybody. And she can't believe this. But she can't just leave her marriage. I mean, she has to have a plan. She doesn't have the means to be by herself and still be able to stay at home. So she has to have this plan. And this plan, I'm assuming, is going to end with her trying to leave him and take everything.
Mm.
Here's the thing. Why is it that everyone acts like as though work is so easy? Work is so easy, right? Have you tried it?
Mm.
Because work is so easy that you don't want to do it. Work is so easy that you complained every time you had to and you dread the day that you'd have to go back. Work is so easy that it takes not just the 8 hours, but additional time to get yourself ready to go there to de stress. You have to put in all these extra hours that you don't get any credit for. You deal with people you probably don't like, and you're told what to do by someone who's constantly breathing down your back. In most cases, work is actually quite miserable. And you understand this so much that you don't want it for yourself. But when someone else, the person you're married to, has to do it day in and day out, you somehow think it's so easy.
Right. Also, isn't it also interesting that we live in this dating and marriage world where you have wives complaining like the chick I just showed you, who's like, hey, tell my husband I need to be a stay-at-home wife. He's a failure. But then you have women in the dating market who don't see any value in a man if he's not paying up to 90% or 100% of all the bills. But immediately you're in that position, all of a sudden what you're doing isn't so important. Right?
No, I'll have a tea, actually.
It doesn't make any sense.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
It doesn't make any sense.
Should you have help? Yeah. Should the person who you're married to understand that you too need a break, because being at home isn't a picnic, especially when dealing with a small child and having to clean up after everyone and cook meals and worry about everyone all the time? Sure. But should we be emasculating? Should we be coming on this app and telling everyone how trash your relationship is and how little he actually does and how little you actually care about him and how much you deserve more? No. Some of y'all are so toxic you don't understand it, but you wouldn't want to walk a mile in his shoes, yet you don't appreciate that he does it for you. Men literally can't win.
Right. That's it. That's good fact. Some men literally can't win with these delusional chicks out here. Let's got a few comments here. Top comment here says women are lazy. That's why. I think I would say majority of modern women, when put in the position that they ask for, because you know, here's the thing. When it's about them, because I wouldn't agree with the women are lazy. Here's why. I think it's more selfishness. Because have you seen these chicks brag about the degrees and how hard they work, their annual income when they're telling the truth? When they're benefiting themselves and themselves only, they're willing to work. They'll show up at that job. They'll listen to what a man has to tell them if he's cutting them a check and is their boss. It's not necessarily laziness as much as it is selfishness. Within a relationship, especially a marriage, you're not the center of attention. The kids become the most important thing, or at least they should be. It's not just about, oh, I don't feel the spark, so let me now literally destroy these children's future, traumatize them, put them at a highly statistical disadvantage because now they do not have the presence of a father and a mother in the same household. It just comes down to entitlement and selfishness. I don't think it's laziness, because these chicks do work when it benefits them. Now, when it comes to them contributing, that's when all of a sudden, oh, you're asking for too much. Somebody else here says, so she doesn't want to do the work at home, but wants to be a stay-at-home mom. Here's another person who says most of these females are lazy as F nowadays. Taking care of children and the house is like 2 to 3 hours of work a day. I know because I've done it. Okay. So when it comes to children, I think it just depends on how many children you have overall, right? And what stage those children are in. All right, guys, moving on. Of course, I'm curious to know, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think that most fathers, most husbands in the United States today are lazy.